Hey folks, I'm back out here with the jewelweed. I showed you a video. I posted a video about a week ago that wild in Kentucky. Y'all look that up if you haven't seen that. I showed you some plants that grow wild in my area and some uses they were good for and benefits. And I had several people that wanted to know more, and they want to know how to use them. And so I am beside the jewelweed again, and I'm going to show you what I have done with that. And we're going to cut some of that down. I'm going to just cut some leaves and flowers off the tops of this, and it's just all over the place there behind me. And this is just across the road from my property. It is on the side of the road, and a lot of times I don't like to eat, but I'm not eating this. A lot of times I don't like to cut stuff that's right on the roadway to eat, because they say that from the blacktop and the fumes and the things that can get in there, and you wouldn't want to cut something, use something and eat it that's right on the roadway. So this is actually a little country road. There's not a lot of traffic on it anyhow, but we're not going to be eating this. So I'm going to cut some of this to make a salve. You can also use that in soap, and we'll check out some benefits of that. But right now I'm just going to cut some, take it back to the house, and show you how I make a salve out of it. Now, you don't have to make a salve. If you're out in the woods and you see this and you've gotten in poison ivy, or you think you're going to get in poison ivy, anywhere poison ivy and poison oak grows, this grows somewhere near there. So if you look around and find this plant, and once you identify it, you'll know it from then on, because it has an unmistakable look about it. And if you're out in the wild, you're fixing to get in poison ivy or poison oak, or think you might be, you can just grab this plant and break a piece off and scrub it up in your hands good, and make a little poultice out of it, and apply that right on your skin. Rub it all over your arms, legs, and that is supposed to prevent the poison ivy and also help stop the itch from poison ivy. So here's a good close-up of what that looks like. Now this is in the Touch Me Not family, and usually when you touch that, I don't know if we'll get that happen. No. Most times, if these haven't already shot their seed, when they first have their seeds, when you touch it, seeds pop out of there. If you can see here what the leaves look like, when that's small, it works just as well. And when it's small, it will come up from the ground and look just kind of like that. And the stems kind of have a succulent look when they're little, and it's very juicy. So you can get plenty of juice poultice out of that. Okay, so I'm going to cut some of this. I'm just going to cut some tops and leaves, you know, some of the young tender parts about there, all over this, and then we'll take it back to the house and show you what we do with it. Okay, we're back at the house with our jewelweed, and I just cut some tops, and funny thing, while I was cutting the tops, seeds start shooting out, and it's kind of funny. So I'm putting these in my little blender, and I'm kind of breaking off some of these bigger stems. I don't know, I guess they would be okay, but I don't never use them. I just don't like to get those big stems in there. They're harder to get it to blend down good. So I just kind of take these big stems off and get all your leaves. They say that the seeds are edible, but they're tiny, so you would have to get a whole lot of them to make anything. But say you were out in the wilderness trying to survive, you can eat the seeds of the jewelweed. And they say that the young plants are edible too. I've never tried that. But when they're young, if you learn to identify them when they're just coming up in the spring, you can eat those small little shoots. They say, I've never tried it, so be your own judge on that. Any of this stuff, be your own, you know, do your research and know what you're getting. Of course, you want to make sure you're identifying it correctly. Never hurts to have a, of course, nowadays your cell phone, you can use your cell phone to look stuff up like that. But I keep a wild plant identifying book in my car. Oh, I'm going to get busy getting this in this blender here. Okay, so I have all the jewelweed in my blender, and I'm adding some water because we've got to get that juiced up good to get all that down in there. Pulse it and blend it until it's completely blended down. Now, I may have to take something and stick in there and chop that down. Now, I just added a little bit of water because I don't want to water this down too much. So, to get that to blend up good, I'm going to have to take my little spatula. I like this spatula that has a small end. That's a nice spatula. It's a Betty Crocker from, I think, Walmart. Okay, we've got this going down good. I had to use my spatula and shove that down in there several times and pulse to get that all squished down in there. What we got now looks like a green smoothie. I drink those for breakfast every morning. Done and ready to pour up. I'm going to use my mustard jar from my recycling jar video. Go back and look at that. I have a video on recycling old jars. I have my mustard jar here that I had found a lid for. I'm going to use that for this. It will be perfect. I don't know if that's going to pour. We're going to use this. And I'm going to get that in there. So I'm going to pour this up in this jar good. I also can take some of this and put in an ice tray. I can take a little bit of it and add into an ice tray and have some frozen. I'm going to keep this jar in the refrigerator. If you itch, go get some of this and put a little on it, and it's good for any skin itches, skin irritations, bug bites. I made some early in the spring, and I just made a small little bit and had already used it up. But also, I'm right by the woods. I'm right by a bunch of it, so it's more potent when it's broken off fresh and squished up right then. So for me, it's better when it's in season. It's easier for me to just run out and grab some if I need it. Some people make the soap. I've never made the soap, but I have bought the soap that they make out of this, and it's really good. And you can wash with that after you've been in the woods and help prevent that. And I read that it's also good for even cuts and scratches and everything like that. Any skin problem, it would be good for. I've read that. I've not used it on everything. I only use it myself on poison ivy because I do get that sometimes, and the grandkids, or you know, that's all I ever I think to use it on usually. So and one more note on picking it. I have an abundance of it out there, you saw that, but anywhere I pick it, where you find it, there'll be a big spot of it because of those seeds that shoot out. So, but I always, any wild plants that I go and gather, I make sure I leave some. You don't go out and pick all of a spot that you find something at, or you or nobody else will ever be able to go back there again because it'll be all gone. So anytime you go out foraging, you be sure you leave some for other people, for the next year, so that it's always there. So thank y'all for watching, and y'all give us a thumbs up and subscribe and share and keep watching.